Oh my god, we're still here.
Well, we technically just barely started, so...
Welcome back in time and tea and eternity.
Yep.
Whatever. Moving on.
Not
Alright.
the worst
Next-
game. Could be
Next
worse.
island.
It's
Well,
pretty shit, though.
Congratulations, Time and Congratulations, Time and Eternity. You're not the worst game ever made. Pat yourself in the back. Time and Eternity.
Regarding
Hey guys, hey Dwibs, guess what? Our game was not voted as the worst game ever.
Wow, I bet Superbad 64 is crying.
Actually, Superman 64 got better ratings than this game.
Also...
Did it?
Overall. Basically, you also have to factor in how many people reviewed it.
Okay, actually I need to question this. What was the pattern name in the island? Because Zucchero means sugar. This... I don't know what this is.
It's a name. What's in a name?
Alright, let me check if there is an actual meaning behind the word.
You know, I mean, with Snack World, you expect this because, well, it's called Snack World. It's kind of the franchise's running gag.
Okay. Jaggery is a word used to describe a traditional form of refined sugar consumed in Asia, Africa, Latin America, and Caribbean.
Ah, so there is a purpose.
Alright then.
The Mega Spicy Candy. Basically, it's the repel of this game. It basically means that you don't have no random battles, and considering the battle system is already getting on my nerves, I'm going to make use of it so I can just... And yes, when I do it, it really exposes how completely empty, shallow, and useless these dungeons are.
So Pedro, we've already established that peppers can allow for an instant change between Tokyo and Towa, but why don't you go over how the game expects you to change them?
Yes. Every time you level up, you alternate between Tokyo or Towa, depending on who you're. There's 200 levels max, which means there's going to be a lot of changing. You can find some peppers, except unfortunately they're rare items, or you can just buy them at the PlayStation Store, or you can do what I do and just use Game Genie.
Technically speaking, these had microtransactions.
Well,
not quite.
It's more like the Tales Up style of purchases too. I mean,
True, but no, let me ask: is it was like a pure, not bonus in a sense of one-time DLC, or a resource that you can buy multiple times?
No, you can buy them in the store. They're all there.
So, there you go, Jova.
What?
They are technically like the microtransactions.
Oh yeah, but unlike most microtransactions, these ones aren't vicious.
They're honest. The game itself can be played. It's not like in Gears 5, where the game, in order to unlock a new character for multiplayer, you have to do some really grindy shit. Like it lasts an eternity just to unlock one character. And if you don't want to go for all that shit, just spend some real money. There you go. See, that was all the egregious ones. This one is, as far as microtransactions go, this is tame, if you ask me.
Silencio.
It means silence.
Exactly.
Never would have guessed.
And since I'm at level 200, I kill her.
Oh, don't get to hear the boss theme.
Well, Joe, but that's what the soundtrack is for.
All right. Now tell me everything
Not exactly what you were saying when we got to listen to Towa's theme.
Well, Joe, we already listened to it in part 1 and 2.
Hey, hold on.
Okay.
They're not planning an attack?
I'm not sure we can.
So maybe we should just leave them alone then?
Maybe.
How dare you shamelessly attack my servant like that?
No, please. This joke was not fun. This joke was not funny the first time. What makes you think it's gonna be funny the third time?
Fan club. That girl was an actual assassin.
Yeah, she already knows, man.
Indeed she does. Well, good job defeating that young lady.
Again, look at that. The character... I'm sorry if I keep repeating on this, but again, the character, the voice actor told us... Okay, this is a bit bad. No.
But such ferocity.
I get the feeling
cannot
Ricardo's
dissuade
voice
me.
actor wasn't genuinely invested in commentating.
No. It's quite the
It
opposite.
sounds in a couple of like when he screams, it's perfectly fine. It's what he says immediately after. He's like he screams, and in a second he's like, "Oh, this is painful."
It's actually quite the opposite. It sounds like he is invested, just that he was terribly misdirected or not directed at all. And my God, they literally repeated that joke 3 times in a row.
Yep. Oh, trust me, Joe.
I mean,
this is the 4th time
See,
coming.
this was actually very tuned.
That said, though, yeah, why are you doing that? He didn't even really do anything except just say stuff. Didn't really deserve a bite there.
Reports about Jaggery.
Unfortunately, Jova, the game is under the impression that Drake.
Yeah.
biting his head is funny.
Disproportionate retribution. That tends to be a joke that the Japanese think are funny. Especially when it happens to guys.
Well, it can be funny if it's done well, but unfortunately, the people who write this game have no. To quote Tia from her friend Sarah, the people who wrote this game clearly have no idea of how humor works.
Seriously,
So,
take a cue from Rumiko
again,
Takahashi.
another
She's
reference not
practically.
parallel. They just keep coming.
Take a cue from Rumiko Takahashi. She's practically the grandmother of that trope, but done well.
Okay, so now we're going with Towa.
I guess
yeah.
if we are to
So
dig
basically
deep.
okay, I don't think I'm gonna use the. Am I gonna use it? Yeah, I think I am.
Chuckaberry, Conda Wing. There we go.
There's also the Dragon's Wing, which takes you straight back to your house. However, I'm sticking to the Condor Wing since those can be bought, whereas the other ones can.
Maybe I just need to find someone higher up.
Gee, if the assassins aren't planning anything, I wonder what the fuck is that about
Why does
then?
Ricardo keep popping up everywhere we go?
Because the game.
Plot twist. Ricardo is actually the one in charge of the assassins. It was actually just a double trick.
Jova, I would prefer that over what we're actually getting.
I know. Honestly, that would have been a much better plot twist, all things considered. The guy in charge of the fan club actually is the actual assassin leader. How cool would that have been?
Yeah.
I will say this, though.
He created a fan club for his own guild.
And, hey, it's the perfect
It's
disguise.
a decoy, yeah.
Although, all that considered, I'm sad to say
Sorry,
that...
Joe, but that theory is way too clever for this game's writers. Sorry.
Wait, did that woman's mouth just move, but nothing's coming out of it?
She technically did say something.
No, it moved. It's just that the lip syncing is god awful.
Exactly.
So, what do you think? What do you think this is? A professional-made video game?
Should be.
I'm so glad you didn't get hurt. Thanks. Drake deserves a lot of the credit for that.
Yep. But I hope I can bear the blood of
Why did your
Christ.
dragon keep
Never
asking?
Never mind. Yeah, never
We've
mind, I
already
think
read this one.
Well,
Oh,
not
well.
read, but yeah, you know,
Did you find
yeah,
out
you're right.
anything?
I think I was
It
trying
seems all the
to.
assassins
I
serve
think I
under a
forgot
single
actually.
guild
The
regime.
one who has something new to say is Rejo.
My friend told me the same
Yeah.
thing.
And that's the thing, Jova. Sometimes, even without an exclamation point, they do have new things to say.
Oh,
That's the
God.
Anything but
Like, this game can even do
Did you happen to
basic exclamation points right. That's how inept they are.
There was
And again, it hurts.
I've already read it about how this developer is capable of much more.
Oh,
so
I know this one. Bear, seek lest.
Let's skip this. Okay.
I have no choice but to keep going. I have
Oh,
to protect
Toa
him.
wants to protect Zack. Oh, nice.
That's well, I
She
guess.
appears tomboyish, but she has an heart of gold.
I guess
like
it's a
her
nice
hair.
subversion
Alright, this is
of
actually new.
the trope.
Yeah, Drake did pretty well for himself.
Indeed, I am a man among dragons. This power emanating
Ha.
from within, it scares
All right,
you.
You're a puppy dragon.
All right, you got one game. You got
Never flanked
one.
Any kind of attack.
I'm not sure if it was even a joke.
They said,
Even if it was
"What's the
lame.
point?"
No, it was more like a statement or anything.
Mr. Ricardo, did he show up?
Head
Oh my
bobbing.
God.
Drake
Can we
nearly
please
killed him.
talk about something that's not Ricardo for a change?
Drake,
Whoa, hey, come on!
And neither Babs. Can we talk about something that's neither Babs or Ricardo,
he demanded
please?
we start a family together. Sounds obnoxious.
It is, right, Joe? It actually is.
He
Yes.
shouldn't be so forward. Such a
Jesus
sweetie.
Christ. If you know Ricardo's obnoxious, why did you put him in the game?
Honestly,
Because
I'm gonna-
apparently Edna likes that.
I'm gonna be quite honest. Considering his entire role in the game, Ricardo's one of the better characters in this game.
Basically, it's one of my favorite moments in Swan Princess 2 is when they have a little song, a little peppy friendship song, and then John Bob's like, cute, catchy, didn't work, and my reply has always been, didn't work, huh? Then why was the song in the movie then? Like,
To entertain the audience, of course.
To pad the usual fashion, to pad the time to have an excuse to sell merchandise in the form of songs.
Alright, guys. Okay.
Let's find out what those assassins have to
Theo,
say.
guess what's gonna happen in this other island that we're gonna visit?
We
Take a wild
find the Linus, I guess in this case, we fight it, and then Ricardo shows up and gets eaten.
Gee, Theo, it's like you must be a fucking wizard.
Alright, let me check if this is an adverse
Panela.
synonym.
It is, Theo. Panela is a word for a kitchen utensil.
In some cases, it's also used as bread, and sometimes.
At least in my language it is.
Hold on. It's actually another type of sugar, this time taken from sugar cane, but boiled through high temperature and then vaporized. And it's basically like caramel, like a viscous substance.
Oh,
In Portuguese, it's actually a kitchen utensil. So,
in some dialects, it's a form of bread too. But hey, props for consistency.
The more you know.
it's like they took random words from.
All right, might as well look into the development of this game.
Well, the only real major development thing that I know
Oh,
is.
in your
Hold on, guys. I think I found one of the side conversations. Yeah. All right, Joe. We're gonna get one of the side conversations that gets one of those pictures. So you were asking about those. Here's one.
Why would the assassins want to do such a
First, let me
thing?
wait till these guys finally stop rambling.
Sure they're the ones behind
I mean, dialogue between our characters is not inherently a bad thing.
It is. No, it's not. It's just that it's constantly interrupted by the random battles. But fortunately, I took care of that.
Yeah, that is.
All right. Dwebs, we're up. Go ahead.
What's wrong? Are you hungry? We're surrounded by all these lovely flowers, but you're distracted by the pot of food, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Another comparison to Fang. Yeah, I bet eating in a place like this would make everything taste better.
Well, as long as we're here, let's have lunch.
I mean, at least
Sure.
Zack's whole character doesn't revolve around food.
I feel called out again.
Lips?
It's nothing
Ribs?
special, but I did bring some. I haven't come up yet. But I
Sorry.
did bring some pre-made travel
Oh.
food.
Oh,
Don't you mean bento?
Ah, that was good. I love eating out in the fresh air like this. Although, I know it was to help preserve the food, but everything was a little
Hold on.
too salty.
You're in an island named after a type of sugar,
Oh,
you say it's
okay.
salty.
True, but still, I thought it was fun. Fine, sorry. God, this fucking text on the fucking background. Even
It-
I have trouble reading this
But-
thing.
Now I'm craving something sweet.
Okay, the font has a border and a pear shader, but it's so minimal.
not only that, is it just me or do things look lighter the closer they are to the bottom of the screen? It's weird.
Yeah, that's why I decided to basically absolve Shiroi of any reading duties for this game. Because,
Well, actually, Shiroi said she was out from the get-go, but yeah, there's that too.
I don't remember her saying that, but whatever.
The center is filled with sweet nectar. You can drink it just like juice.
But it'll make you hallucinate.
Why are we looking at the sky while this is going on?
They also told me that the extremely sweet juice will make you gain weight immediately.
Because it's pretty? Question
Based on
mark?
how sugary sweet it smells, I can believe it.
Shiroi, the Spyro games on the PS1 had better skyboxes.
Clearly the developers in my definition of beauty are different.
Like this is isn't
That's sure it's
the
irresistible.
isn't
I
the
wonder
worst I've seen, but gone.
I wonder if the gaining weight thing applies to dragons too. Yes, we're talking about gaining
Food.
weight from food because this is romantic somehow. Oh well.
I'm not quite sure they're trying to make a. Wait, Pedro! How is this romantic?
Hey,
It's between her and her dragon, for God's sakes.
Actually, Joe, but the game is going to try to pose it as a romantic thing at the end. You'll see.
Somehow.
I don't care if I gain a little weight.
Then why are you mad about it?
So delicious.
Because consistent characterization is overrated, Shuri.
Oh, what the hell was that?
What was that?
What?
No. I can't drink it knowing how much weight it's gonna make me gain.
I think the game's brain snapped. I don't. She can thinking of. God, this fucking font. Blah, 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 blah.
Do you need me to read for you on that?
No. If she's too embarrassed to eat in front of me, maybe I should step out for a little bit. She's embarrassed to drink in front of him. What kind of sense does that make?
Hey, where are you going?
I mean, some people are, especially around like boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, because you don't want to see him eating like a pig. Basically, it is a thing that exists, but
whatever.
I'm not sure why the game is trying to pass it off as a joke, though.
I don't know. Me and Vanessa eat like pigs in front of each other, and nobody ever raises a question.
A lot of people act differently.
I guess. It just comes across. It just feels weird to me. A true gentleman does whatever he must to make sure he doesn't embarrass a lady. Yeah, a lot of that. You're not Professor Layton. Shut up.
Well, it's not like Professor Layton invented that.
I know. A true gentleman must also make sure a lady is safe. Maybe I should take a little peek. Charming. There you go.
The nectar is so thick and sweet, yet light and airy. Truly a forbidden flavor.
If you say so.
Also, a panty shot there. Merry Christmas, everybody.
It's so
They're mandatory for this kind of game.
Stop drinking it. This is bad.
I'm guessing that.
I'm actually surprised the panty shot is not seen in the sprite on the field.
Where's the trumpet theme?
What? I guess they're not trying to make it humorous.
Considering how
for
short
once.
her skirt is, it is surprising.
Yeah. But I'm glad I got this chance to see a side of Towa I don't usually get to see. Oh, great plumpish. I thank you for your sweet nectar and the forever cute Towa.
Harmless.
And Towa's love has increased up to 15. So basically, every time you do one of these side conversations with either of the girls, the love meter, there you go, see? The love meter is now changed. So now Towa is entirely in, Toki has 0 love right now.
And don't worry,
So it's all up to...
Wait.
Yeah, in case you don't know, this will come out into play for the ending.
And don't worry, folks. If you want to game the system, there's always a perfect way to balance out the love manually.
Yes, the items. There you go. Super Chocoberry. The Chocoberry items gives some love to the Toki side, whereas the what was the name of the Toa ones? Plum Jerky. That's it. Plum Jerky.
Because as we all know, the way to a woman's heart is through her stomach. Wait.
Actually, Joe, but there are quite a lot of women that actually their path is indeed for the stomach. It's not just men.
Anyway, Pedro. Sorry, go on.
It's again, yeah, like Jova said, you can usually if you collect items, especially, and you can buy some of these on SDLC as well. You can easily cheat the system, or you can do what I do and just use brute force save data, which is a free program that can edit PS3 save files to give yourself 99 of all items, and there you go, you're all set. But now I'm right in the middle. Did you notice how it was glowing? That means that I'm right in the dead center, meaning right now both of them have equal love, which will lead to the best ending.
You know, going back to what you said, Pedro, it is weird though, but by default, random encounters happen so much, considering how rather long and intricate some of these little character interactions can be.
It's called bad design, Jova.
Anyway, Pedro, I was checking here that word that I mentioned, Panela, the one where you talk about is an utensil, apparently has a Portuguese pronunciation, but you know, I'll let you read it actually, because it's in the link. No, it's called rapadura or something like that.
Hold on, let me see that.
I was checking if it was, maybe it's like Brazilian Portuguese, but no, it seems to be genuine Portuguese.
Okay, let me check.
Like real Portuguese.
You know, some of those trees don't even look like they're all there.
Okay, no, rapadura. Okay, rapadura is the Brazilian term.
Ah, okay. Why Wikipedia is considering that then? Whatever.
Because Teo, a lot of non-Portuguese speaking people tend to confuse Brazilian with Portuguese.
I guess. You think that in current year Wikipedia will have a better quality control over this.
Yeah,
The
whatever.
thing is, Tio, it does.
Remember, Teo, a lot of American comedies have, some kind of joke about Portuguese people, and then they have the actors be voiced by Brazilians. So, like, again, this is just common.
Well,
like,
you gotta admit, Brazilians can put on a good Portuguese accent.
No, they can't. Jova. Sorry.
Yeah, no, Jova.
No. Some can, not all. Oh, come
I
on.
think I don't think you're the authority on that one, Joe.
Yeah, I was about to
come on,
mention.
Pedro. Like, you're gonna
Just
pretend
leave
like
the judgment of that to Pedro.
I said some can, not all. It's like,
Pedro
oh,
has entered
hey.
the chat.
Wow, did you just came out from Shadow the Hedgehog?
I guess, Teo, you can be them. Why not?
It's already, it has a voice.
Alright. Oh, yeah, it does. I forgot.
It's a robot with a crossbow. I guess because we need to say. Wait, but Toki and Towa have a rifle. Why would you put the robot with a crossbow and not a gun?
Joe, you answer this one.
I'm just mystified by the fact that if your defense is big
are you gonna
enough,
Are you doing like
So,
oh no?
what do you know about the plan to attack the wedding?
There is no attack plan. Also, you should stop snooping around. You wouldn't want to make our boss angry. And one last thing. Are
Oh,
you
no.
sure you don't want to audition?
Only if I'm allowed to destroy the stage and everyone around it.
No can do. Farewell.
wow,
Sure,
she
why
is
not?
all about destruction.
So are we doing like the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy and replace every single bullet with a tiny missile?
Such grace.
Which is weird because they brought the bullets back in Nitro Fueled.
Ricardo, not you again.
I don't know how the rating works, Jova.
It's still
Oh,
E for
immediately.
everyone ages 10 and up.
Oh, Santa Maria! Light is like living iron. But no matter. For today, I have made an oath to make an oath to you.
An oath to make an oath?
Will you
Okay.
marry me?
Oh,
On the
look it!
condition
Look,
that you will
guys,
then
we're
go on
doing
a
this
date
joke for the 4th time because it's just so funny. It was worth repeating 3 times.
How about I kill you on the condition that you never speak again?
That's hot.
Also, that face that Toa made right at the end of that little scene, it looked like a typical. It looked like a face that you usually see on Legend of Korra, like that particular facial expression.
Yeah,
It
I get what you mean.
It's weird.
A bit of an off model.
The
Too.
studio that made the animation for this game didn't work on that show. I'm guessing it's just a common anime thing.
Yeah.
Even though Legend of Korra isn't an anime.
It's an anime.
But it was animated by Asian.
Similar to Gargoyles or Batman the Animated Series are not anime.
Mhm.
Pretty much. Doop-doo, loading.
Time to report again.
And even Brian and Mike, I've always been perfectly open saying that the anime was a huge influence on that show. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
There is no attack plan. Not quite.
Huh.
There is no attack plan.
Is she actually practicing?
It's funny because
I mean, it's kinda
Because
cute.
Towa already had a sort of robotic voice. I get the idea behind that.
I mean, I would get it if it was Toki doing it, because Toki is the absent-minded kind girl, but Towa, it doesn't really fit Towa's character.
No, Pedro, it shows her hidden depths.
No, like there's a better way to do this.
I think it works for what it is. I mean, look, in a sea of jokes that do not land here, I feel like that one works well enough.
Eh.
Well, what do you think, Libs?
I mean, it could have been worse.
Chioi?
Yeah, again, it's like me and Liz were saying. Congrats, guys! Congrats to us. We didn't make the worst game ever made.
Well, just
I
as
think
Jova
it's fine,
said, just as
personally.
Jova said, I guess at this point it's one of those we take this kind of victories when we can.
Sure.
I mean, in terms of
Oh
victories...
yeah, hey guys! More.
Sure, why not?
No need to remind me. Thank God. Besides, tea sucks anyway.
That's a bold statement, Jova, in the face of Shirai. Why did you have to do that?
Jova.
This tea sucks.
You know what you're doing, right?
I know. I'm
You know I
awakening.
can hear you. I'm muted, but I can hear you.
I know. To quote the Japanese, I'm awakening a sleeping dragon.
To quote Britain, you dare insult our tea.
Hey, we've
No
dumped
game.
it.
You know, game. We saw it. We heard it. We experienced what happened. We don't need the characters to recap what just happened. We're not morons.
I mean, okay, maybe
Again, I think it will help immensely if Toki or Towa were explaining these like with a small crayon-like figures recreating the scene. Again, it will help with the comedic effect. It will give an excuse to do more than just telling.
Anyway, Pedro, question.
Yes.
I'm assuming that with those side conversations, the way it works with Toki is in a similar means, just different attitude.
Basically, yeah. Well, you'll be able to see a couple by yourself anyway, Jova, so I'll let you be the judge of that.
I could get more info. But I have no idea.
Alright,
where it
extras
is.
parts.
Well, actually, I don't even have an extras part for this one. I managed to include everything in the finale.
Oh, well, I'm talking about how certain side conversations would go with, the other character, like,
Oh, yeah, sure.
I know where Master Ricardo hangs out. Someone in the back.
Why would you know that?
Because she's a fan of his.
And you couldn't tell us this before because...
Yeah, to be fair, it's not like we were asking her where Ricardo hangs out, and it's not
It's
like...
literally you didn't ask.
Well, not only that, but we weren't looking for Ricardo at the time either.
See, Pedro, Drake channels your sentiment.
But at the same time, this means that visiting those 3 islands were just a waste of my time.
Well, technically, we figured out that the assassins have no plans to attack the wedding, which means that it adds to the quote-unquote mystery, even though anyone who is, like, over the age of 10 probably has guessed by now what's about to occur.
And by the way, Enda is now not going to tell Toki where Ricardo is because she doesn't want to risk so that Toki falls in love with Ricardo. And therefore, we're doomed. Drake is gonna die. Zack is gonna die anyway because Enda is being an incredibly petty bitch.
Now, when you're playing as Towa, the reason she doesn't tell you is because she doesn't want Towa to kill Ricardo. And considering how Towa tends to act, I can see why she may be a bit wary about that.
Yeah, that's such a good point, Joe. Thank you. The dialogue is always the dialogue is mostly the same regardless of which girl you have at the specific moment. It's only slight variations, like Joba just said. If, in this particular conversation, if it's Toki, she's afraid that Toki will fall in love with him. If it's Towa, she's afraid that Towa will kill him. But it's only very slight variations. It's not worth doing an entire playthrough with just one girl or an entire playthrough with just the other. No, trust me, it's not worth it. The variations in dialogue are very, very minimal.
Although I will give the game credit for actually going that extra step to change the dialogue enough so that at least it feels like you're playing as a different person. Because I've seen so many games that have this sort of concept and
this is important, kind of.
For Towa, he's someone very close to her, but far away at the same time. I really hope he's able to
So there you go.
protect her.
Yeah.
You know, I just realized something. There's actually two
Oh, no.
girls that want me. I'm just
Okay,
wondering the
there's a
one
time and place to have this joke game.
You just that you realize Enda only now.
The more
I think the problem is like, well, we literally have this line of dialogue. Let me finish.
Not just
See, okay, I can get having this joke maybe later, but to have it right after that heartfelt scene with Toki talking about how Tawa feels very mistimed.
Exactly. Again, just like Fire Fence Rev, we will suddenly divert into a terrible joke, completely ruining whatever heart-to-heart we were having.
Although I'll give it credit, this game is nowhere near as tasteless as Fire Fence Rev can get.
Oh, of course not. It's just that, again, there's so many parallels between these two games. It's
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
amazing.
definitely. In terms of small little blessings we can cover, Zack, while he can be a pervert, he's not a creepy pervert. He is what we at TV tropes call a chivalrous pervert. Yes, he's very open about his perverted thoughts. Well, actually, no, he's more, he keeps that more to himself, technically. But while he thinks perverted thoughts, it's not like he acts on them, thank Christ. Except for one side quest, but that's played for comedy.
Oh, sorry.
He's able to control himself at least a little bit.
Most of the time, at the very least. From
Yes,
what
Joe?
it seems to check, fructose is, I think,
That's what Towa
Nordic
says.
Yes?
term.
If Toki and I keep switching out like this,
Oh,
we're going to have to face him
yeah.
eventually.
Min, she's talking about me, right?
But I'm terrible at things like that. I wanted to meet him this
True.
whole time. But how do I prepare for something
You don't.
like that?
Easy.
Cut down on the steroids. They're making you aggressive, honey.
I'm
And
just
I does the
nervous,
same thing,
right?
so
No.
let's skip it.
Drake?
Oh no, I bit my face.
So there you
Ever
guys.
get, ever get the
But-
feeling we're
Really hope
just
Ricardo
going
actually
around in
knows where Guild's
circles?
headquarters are.
More like we're sitting around a circle.
He's just
Yeah,
out
we're
there
this is the round
fishing,
table
huh?
groups.
Sounds like he's got it pretty easy.
I heard he really has to catch a certain fish for some unknown reason.
What does that got
He
to do with
really
anything?
has to.
Oh?
He
Is this that
really
legendary
has to
fable
be
of the
some
guy who
kind
has
of
to go and get that legendary fish take?
It also
The-
doesn't
the-
have anything to do with anything.
The free wishes
What
fish,
the
I guess.
hell are you even blathering on about, game?
I'll do my best to keep that in mind.
I honestly don't know if I can trust you.
Says you, and
If it gets
Well,
dangerous,
to be fair, Tawa's kind of a loose cannon.
No! Here, just to be sure, let me write Don't kill Ricardo on your hand.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Holy
I hate this game.
moving on.
Let's exit.
This is the kind of game where I feel like I should hate it, but I just can't warrant the energy to hate it. Like, it feels like a game that I get what it's trying to do. It's just, it's so clumsy at it that, honestly, I can't even bring myself to hate it. Just laugh pitifully at it.
Alright.
Everybody, in the next part, we'll see if Ricardo's information is true. So see
In
you
the
then.
fructose island.
See you later.
See it.